Blitz Trend Sniper version 4. We backtested 1,000 strategies, one survived. Let me start with a confession. The divergence indicator we built had a 35% win rate on the 15-minute chart. Backtested on 5 coins over 2.6 years, minus 155R. The more you used it, the more you lost. So this time, we rebuilt it from data, not intuition. We backtested over 1,000 combinations, and exactly one survived. 66.7% win rate, and I'm going to show you the entire process. Here's the design. 5 signal engines. The divergence ladder, immediate entry, liquidity sweeps, a divergence plus sweep combo, and Bollinger mean reversion. 17 filter sets. 10 exit schemes. Multiply it out and you get over 1,000 combinations. The data. Real Binance 15-minute candles. 5 coins from Bitcoin to BNB. 2.6 years. 92,000 bars per coin. And we rigged the rules against ourselves. Entries are counted at the open of the bar after the signal closes. If the stop and the target get touched in the same bar, it counts as a loss. Fees of 0.1% round trip are deducted. The harder it is to win in the backtest, the less likely the live market betrays you. Most candidates died. Liquidity sweeps alone, minus 333R. Pure noise on the 15-minute chart. Bollinger mean reversion couldn't beat the fees. Hidden divergence collapsed on the validation coins we had deliberately left untouched. Combination after plausible combination got filtered out by the data. Why show you the failures? Because knowing what doesn't work matters just as much as knowing what does. The survivor was surprisingly simple. The key finding. Divergence by itself is not an edge. Unfiltered, it wins 34% of the time. But take the exact same divergence and trade it only at the end of a pullback in the direction of the trend, and the number flips. 4 conditions. 1. A regular RSI divergence. The timing. 2. The 1-hour close above the 200 EMA, the tide. 3. The 15-minute 21 EMA above the 55, the structure. 4. Volume above 1.3 times its average, the fuel. Add the trend gates and the win rate climbs to 53%. Add volume and it reaches 66.7. That single volume filter lifted the profit factor from 0.98 to 1.32. A signal fires only when all 4 align on the same bar. That's why it's called a sniper. Let's watch it live. Bitcoin 15 minutes, replayed bar by bar. The gates turn green one by one. And the moment all 4 line up on the same bar, the entry label prints. Hover it, and every reason is right there. The divergence RSI readings, the 1-hour trend, the alignment, the volume multiple. You can't follow a signal you don't understand. And look, entry line, stop line, 2 targets, the risk zone, all drawn automatically. The stop sits below the divergence low, the exact place where this idea would be proven wrong. When price tags the first target, a take-half label prints, and the stop jumps to break even. From that moment, this trade cannot lose. The remaining half runs to target 2. And the result label prints itself, win plus 1.05R. Set 1 alert, any alert function call, and this whole sequence arrives on your phone. You pick one of 3 management styles. Set once in the settings panel. High win rate mode banks half early and goes to break even, 66.7%. Balance pushes the targets further, 57.9% with more profit per trade. Max R skips the scaling and holds for a fixed 2R, 43.7%, but the biggest total return. Here's the part that matters. All 3 modes were profitable, on 5 coins over 2.6 years. And the table at the bottom right tallies the win rate and total R for whatever chart you load, fees included. This indicator never hides its own scorecard. Now the downsides. First, signals are rare, about once per coin per month. This is not a trade everyday tool. It waits for the best situations only. Second, not every year is a winner. 2025 finished at minus 2R, despite a 60% win rate. Third, there was a streak of 6 losses in a row. If you don't cap your risk at 1% per trade, you won't survive that stretch. Fourth, coins differ. Bitcoin was strongest at 78%. Solana and XRP were break even. We could have hidden these numbers and shown you the highlights, but then this video would be just another indicator and you'd be right to ignore. Finally, 3 reasons this isn't a fluke. 1. The combination was chosen using only 3 coins. XRP and BNB were run for the first time after the design was frozen. They passed. 2. We held out the final 11 months as out-of-sample data. 71.4% actually better. 3. Perturb every setting and the win rate stays between 64 and 68%. It's a plateau, not a knife's edge. The indicator and the manual are linked below. Trading with the rules drawn on your chart. In the next episode, we set it up together from scratch, alerts included.